So I just checked this plant. It might have too much water. One of the leaves are shriveled, and I'm feeling a bit disheartened because I don't want to actually lose the plant, but I'm just going to leave the water there for a few days. See how it goes. So I'm thinking about this place in this area. I don't want to live here forever. I'm considering following through and giving away a few grand to try and earn money with this company that says, oh, give us a few grand for your training and then we'll give you the tools you need to earn thousands and thousands of dollars a month. So so I'm considering doing that. I emailed them today to say maybe this Friday they want to, have a conversation with me over the phone. It was supposed to happen last Friday, but they said today that they didn't get the message, and my message was in their spam box, really. And so they said, oh, tell me when you're available, and I said, oh, it's Friday, and they didn't give me a reply, which means they possibly haven't gotten my message once again. But I did reply pretty soon after they sent their message, and so I think I should have had a return reply saying okay. So I'm not really certain about this new adventure. I'm just trying to earn money, and it's supposed to back you up financially month by month. And I just don't have any idea if it actually works, and I might be blowing off, some of my money. But I enter a lotto every week, so I always have the chance to recover any of my money losses. But at the moment, I'm feeling a little bit disheartened about it. I'm not even sure if it's real or if you can get away with doing it, or I really am just putting my money out for this make-believe chance, which my mind keeps telling me it is a real opportunity and you can earn money, but I'm not really sure if that's true. So it makes sense in my mind, but I don't know about reality. Often I find that these things that you do from home are part of a splish or a scam of some kind, and I often get, I've been involved in a couple of them. One of them, I got some notifications from the New South Wales police saying, oh, I owe whoever sent me money, that I owe them money of such and such an amount. And I said, no, that's not true. I participated in, specific activities, and I gave them all their money. I don't have any of their money, and I only have what they paid me to be able to, do whatever the job required. And I got away with that one. That one was like a bit of a splish and a splash and a Spamish sort of thing. And then there's this other one, it was either last year? No, it must have been the year before, where I got I had to open a bank account to be able to make fast transfers, and, the bank kicked up a fuss. They made this weird ass claim of having the money, that I was being sent, having part of a scam. And, no matter what I said, they considered everything what I was participating in illegal, even though they didn't really care about the company. They didn't have any proof that the transactions being transferred to me was actually, the specific scam that they were blaming it on. They just had to hear, oh, I'm getting paid to use someone's Bitcoin for them, and I'm getting the heat. They're saying, oh, it's a scam, it's not real, you applied to a false job ad, and then they were making claims on, the person who was sending it to me. They said it was a guy, the guy's no good. I'll probably end up being, assaulted in some way by the guy who's some sort of enemy, terroristy kind of person, and I shouldn't have anything to do with them. And yeah, so anyway, I had my bank account closed then, and then the bank that I was making previous transfers joined in that chain reaction, and so I had my new bank account and my spare bank account that I use for things that might be, considered, scams at some time. Anyway, that one was closed down and it's still frozen. I can't use it, but it's got all the money in there and it's gaining interest, but I can't use it. So, um, so, um, so this one might be a similar thing where you get money and everyone makes a big deal out of it and they tell you, no, it's a scam, but it seems a bit more reasonable. I can say it's part of marketing, it's part of selling that I do from home. What do I sell? Educational products and whatnot. So it seems a bit realistic, whereas the other one was like a Bitcoin transfer system. I get paid to transfer someone else's Bitcoin, really, and the whereas this one's like, oh yeah, I'm selling educational goods, and I also sell conference tickets, and tickets just for people to see a live conference, some seminar, and hopefully, everything's going to be considered legal and not part of a splish and a splash. So, but I'm putting a lot of my money down just to be able to have it, and the customer service, like I said, it's taken more than a week for me to actually be able to sign up. And I'm saying Fridays because by Monday I'm not really into the company. So I need all week to prepare to give that kind of money into someone's hand, which may or may not be a realistic job opportunity. But I'm trying to earn supportive income from home because I'm not always employed, and screw it, why not? It's an opportunity, but I know it's going to drink some money from me every month, but if it makes me money, then okay. So, that's what I'm thinking. Because I'm trying to back myself up, and I'm not really smart enough to invent something or something I can sell on eBay that people want or whatever. Um, so, yeah, so I'm just trying this. I know it's someone else's organization, and I'm just a lower part of it, but it could lead to something. I just hope it doesn't interfere with any of my online activities. Because, because I hate it when something that you are in to screws up something else, say an email account or something, or a video account. Someone breaks in saying, oh, you don't need to do this, and big hassle, you continuing on with whatever. So that's happened to me before. I've replied to a message and I get involved, and all this stuff happens. I get weird phone calls, and apparently the organization where I met the person is prank calling me, and because I met a person that I shouldn't know or something. So that's happened to me before online, and I don't want that to happen with this, because anything can happen when you give your details out to people and stuff, and even that kind of stuff can happen. So but I know I only have a couple more years here, at best, but true enough, corona could end sometime soon, and I'm gonna be turfed out. But I'm not sure. I've got at best 2 years before who I live with goes into retirement, and then I'm on my own. So I do need something to back me up, and if this can back me up, then I'll be counting my lucky streak that I joined up. because not many people I know would do that. Not many people I know would throw away that much money for a maybe chance. So I'm only doing it because I need it. And I'm open to that chance, that opportunity and stuff. But I don't know if it's going to work or if it's going to waste my money. I mean, I'm going to feel very bad because 2.5 grand, I'm not going to recover that till the end of the year, but at the same time, if it does lead to money off making opportunities, then good for me, so I have to just stay on the ball, try and think positive. I mean, I know it's a lot of money now, but I just have to get a job, and it's only a couple of weeks worth of wages. So, but that's why I want to do it, so I can do something when I'm at home, and then every now and again when I get a job that can back me up, and I can recover whatever I've lost. But I don't know whether it's the right thing for me to do, but it's not a bad idea, especially if I'm going to be turfed out in a couple of years and I have nothing supporting me still. Opportunities for employment, are supposed to decrease, not increase as you get older. And so I'm just doing it, maybe. So on another note, what do I think of this area? I think it's temporary. But if I had to live here, I'm sure I can live here for a long time. But I'm not actually living in my own house, and I don't want to. I don't want to live here. I mean, it's similar to a place that I would put up with, maybe. But I don't own any property here, and I'm probably not going to. If I did buy a house, I don't imagine that I would buy here. There are like a heap of new townhouses down the road, and even new houses across the park, but I don't imagine that I really like their location that much. I don't know where I'd rather. I mean, I keep saying that I want to move to my last area so that I can walk around the stores and stuff and have fun, but when there, sometimes all you want is a nice vacation place where no one breaks in, and getting away from the cities a bit, some fresh air or something, more peace and tranquility. So I'm never certain where on earth I want to be, but I just know that I'm probably not going to buy around the area. But what do I think of the area anyways? Well, it could be relaxing if I wasn't living in a semi-haunted house. It could be relaxing. But the traffic's quite loud. But I'm used to traffic because I used to live in the city a couple of years ago. So it doesn't disturb me that much. The neighbors are sometimes a bit loud, but like I said, I'm used to living close to neighbors who get drunk and have parties and even smoke. So nothing really bothers me that much in that regard. Because I'm used to listening to people party at 12 o'clock at night. As long as no one's door knocking and disturbing my door or trying to break in, I'm generally not disturbed by things. So yeah, this area, when I first came here, I thought it was a little bit pornographic. And then it seemed the supermarket seemed like a lot of people had like walking disorders. So I was calling it like a cerebral palsy area too. So which I don't know, if you're really settling down, I guess that's not the most attractive trait, but even I've got some relatives with a little bit of cerebral palsy, and I'm not too phased out by everything, so sort of used to walking and seeing people walk around with bent legs and heels hardly touching the ground. But to find a whole supermarket was like a new thing for me. But a couple of people are trying to pick me up in cars, which is why I thought it was pretty pornographic. Like even by my second day, like some people were trying to pick me up in a car. So which is why I was sort of tripping when I first came here. But it's not too bad. No one really attacks you. And they don't really jump out and take you into a car. They just sort of think about it and slow the car down and pull the car near you. And yeah, they look like they're going to jump you and put you in a car and take you to someplace pornographic, but they don't. so, but other than that, it's just a pretty ordinary place. Got a nice park, and I walk around, and I don't know. Yeah, I guess I could live in a place like this for a long time, but it's similar and different to where I used to live. Where I used to live was like city. This is like suburban, but not like any real great suburban area, just like a general suburban area which has everything that you need. I liked it more than other areas because of the fact that it's so close to transport. but but I think generally like I'm gonna move to someplace else when I move, when I'm told to leave, eventually. And I don't know where it's gonna be. But if it was a place similar to this, not exactly the same, but similar in the fact that it has public transport access available, and it has a supermarket and stuff with a lot of amenities and stores that you can use and stuff. And I don't mind this kind of lifestyle, as opposed to the city one. It's just that when I was living where I used to live, I was more active. There's so many more stores available, and I went to the theater, and you can see a concert pretty easily and stuff. But they do have clubs, but I don't go to clubs in general. But I've got clubs if you like them. I go to the library though, and I go to movies. But the thing is, nothing's perfect, there, and I always feel like I'm hiding from something. And nothing's perfect here. I'm still hiding from some things, but not. It doesn't seem like I'm hiding from as many things, really. But I don't know. I just have to wait and see how much money I'll have in the future. If I get kicked out of here and I still hardly ever have a job, I might need to settle down in a real cheap place and just hope for the best. But I don't really want to do it that way. But if that's all I have open to me, it's probably best to settle down in a cheap something than settle down in any rental. So I think those could be options. But if I happen to get a job or make money or somehow, then I can stop thinking about that. But I hate looking at old things. I always want everything to be new, because new places, they're not nearly as haunted, and the houses don't have a past, and you don't have to it feels new. It doesn't feel secondhand, and there's no mysteriousness to find about a new house. It's just a new house, and that's sort of what I like about new houses. And that's always what I've wanted. I've always wanted to have a new house, as opposed to a crummy secondhand house, which has history and people probably died in the house. But this this one's a second-hand house. If this one was selling for like real cheap, I could have opened the opportunity of buying it, but it's being sold for like $500,000 or more, and I'm like, oh, really? This crummy little house selling for so much? And you're thinking, oh, I would have priced it at like 150, maybe 200, but not 500,000. So it goes to show I don't know anything about houses, but I consider it a cheap old house. But you can live in old houses. I mean, I'm not much of a fixer upper. I just like to move in and start fresh. So, but unfortunately, if my money doesn't rise up, I won't be able to do that, and I'm just gonna have to find something affordable. It looks like, even though I don't want to do it that way, but the good thing is I have a deposit for any house that I may want. I just don't have any reliable income coming in. I'm getting a short job here, a short job there, but there's nothing really that's permanent. There's nothing permanent, and I'm not wanting to stay in jobs. People want to let me go early, so even my short-term jobs are finishing earlier than expected, and I'm not getting my full amount of payments. I'm just getting we're sick of her. No, not quite, but not with every job. But yeah, some of them, most of them, like just want to leave things at that and not have me come back really. So, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just thinking to that, but that's the way I felt with some of those jobs, that they let me go early and then they don't want me back. So, but the last one didn't let me go apparently because of Corona, and they've almost rehired me in other areas of its business. So I'm like, well, at least that's a little bit more positive. But I don't know. I mean, I had a phone call last week or the week before saying, oh, upcoming jobs available. When they're available, we might put you forth towards them. And that should have uplifted me, but I'm just sort of listening to it and going, oh, okay. It doesn't really uplift me because the motion isn't happening. But anyway, they're only temp jobs anyway. Go for a few months and 6 months. But at least it's something. But yeah. But I've got to watch it because I know that whoever I live with, when they retire, it means that they're going to move away from everything and live on their own. And that's what retirement is to them. And they don't plan to have me tag along. They plan to just turf me out. So I'm going to be aware that the closing time is coming up, and comes up faster than you expect. And that even if I get to stay for the next 2 years, after that time, I'll be on my own. And that's the end of all my support, really. So it does make me feel a little bit nervous because I'm still not stable, but I know I'll see how I am in 2 years. Like I said, I just need to get a job, and all my money worries will be erased. It's just landing that job and whatever. So yeah, or moving back to where I was living and try again. I know not everyone liked me, but I know that there's I think if I'm living in a different area, maybe things might work out somehow, but it's not uplifting that I was there for so long and I hardly ever worked a job. I mean, I worked a small job, but not very much large work. And unfortunately for me, I mean, as a growing person, that's really what you need a lot of. And it just felt like I wasted my time there. So, I have no idea if I move there again, whether I'll be wasting my time. But I don't know. I just have to see what I feel like doing. I'm definitely not ready to settle right now. But if I was, I'd look into it more. But at the moment, I'm just sort of hovering on ideas while I'm hovering, with Corona and waiting for the Corona thing to pass. Once that passes, I'll probably be. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if I get told, "Oh, just move out." But I don't know. At the moment, like everyone's like thinking, "Oh, don't move out because Corona's around and work's unstable and." But after Corona, I'm not sure if they're gonna be so nice. So, but I know like 2 years is my limit, and then they're gonna sell this place, and then they're gonna leave, and I'm gonna leave, and separate our ways. That's the top tier of possibility. If I do stay another 2 years, eventually this place is gonna go, and I'm gonna have to go as well. So, unfortunately, because I can't just keep leeching on to someone. They're going to go off and do their own thing, do retirement and stuff, and be by themselves a lot more, and maybe build up relationships or something. I don't know, but other relationships, not with me, but with other people, and have fun. Maybe that's their idea. Anyways, I don't know if it's going to come to fruit. And my idea is, well, after 2 years, managed to last this long, and now it's time to be on my own again, and whether I go into a cheap rental or what. So, yeah.